York City, right now as we speak, has the worst air quality in the whole world. As much as I love Dwayne Wade, as much as I love Gabrielle Union, to be honest, I wish they both would just take care of their family, take care of their business, and shut the fuck up.
You know what, folks? Welcome to Real Talk for Real Men. I have got to get Mr. Lamb Liberty to make that lead in intro much longer. Just when I be getting hyped and shit, it ends. So I got to get that music going a little bit more because I need to get in my zone and be feeling myself sometime. And the beat is hype, but shit, I need about another good 30, 45 more seconds so I can do my thing to it. In case you don't know, I'm Lee Black. I'm the host of Real Talk for Real Men. Welcome to the Wednesdays edition. Yes, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Facebook under Real Talk for Real Men. You can also find me as part of the TFG family. So if you go looking for us, TFG, and check out TFG Ratchet because we tend to talk grown folks talks on this one. So I am the host. Let's bring in my co-host from Memphis, Tennessee, the second murder capital. Nah, I'm not gonna call it that. What's going on? What's up, McMac?
I'm all right, trying to get through this week. That is what I'm trying to do.
I understand, baby. But as we always say, one of the cool things about making it to tonight is number one, we're 6 feet above ground. And by the time we wrap this bitch, we're gonna be on the other side of this week. We already got it in the bag, and now we just gotta nail it down. So we doing our thing. I see I got my brother in the house. So when I see my brother and I got my homegirl, I already know the show gonna be good. What's up, my brother from another? How you doing?
Good Wednesday evening, beautiful black folks. How we doing?
Yes, sir. We doing it, my brother. How are you out there doing out there in the Big D?
Man, it's getting close to my bedtime, brother. If y'all don't know, I work a little part-time overnight job. So yeah. But I wanted to pop my face in because I wanted to be a part of the cuffing show.
Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you. Look, and we truly understand money calls and that body got to get the rest. So if you need to vamp out, we truly understand. But whatever you give us tonight is appreciated. We truly appreciate you.
Oh yeah,
I've already been here. Thank you. Appreciate you. I've already been notified from two of our favorite people. They're not going to be able to make it tonight. So we missed the posters. Hannah Burke, we miss you. We love you. And sis, I don't know where sis be doing these days. If she sleeping, drinking, whatever the hell she's doing. So I don't know.
I thought about Sherry today too. I hope she's doing well. We hadn't seen her in a while.
Yeah, I talk to my sister pretty much every night, so she was doing good last night, but of course, New York being New York and the circumstances being what they are, the everything can change like the weather, which brings us to tonight's show. Right on time. I said change like the weather, folks. In case you haven't noticed, winter is a coming. And lo and behold, look what the strange winds have blown in.
Oh, wow.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, sis? What's going on, baby sis?
What's up, Sherry?
What's up, y'all?
Good to have you, baby. I missed you. So we missed you on the show. Of course, like I tell everybody, we talk all pretty much every night anyway. So glad to have you, sis. So again, we're going to have some fun. But as I was saying, winter is coming. My boy, he sent me a picture first thing this morning, like 8 this morning, of the winter scene from what's that damn show where the Winter Walkers, will be coming on HBO, that series. The White Walkers. In case you haven't watched, I can't think of the name of the show.
I haven't watched it.
I can't even think of it right now. It's one of the most popular shows ever on HBO. But we were laughing about how Game of Thrones, and it shows the outside of the big gate of that cold tundra. And lo and behold, it was dark. It was cool. The nights are starting to cool down. So it is on its way, folks. And that is a signal that the weather is turning. And guess what? This is our cuffing season special. We do this every year. We've been doing it for 3 years, I believe, right, Tasha?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
3
or 4 years. So, it's that time. So let's talk about it. Cuffing season is that magical time of year when it's getting cold. Winter is on its way. And the way it defines it as people are more compelled to start relationships. I don't think that's what people are trying to do, but what do you guys think cuffing season is all about, especially, and what's different do you feel like about it this year? Do you think it's the same as always, or is cuffing season 2023 different in any kind of way? I want to start there. What is cuffing season for you? What do you, as you see it for 2023? Anybody?
Cuffing
I,
season, it's a whole lot of motherfuckers ready to be trying to get up in a woman's house and be living with her. That's what they're about now.
Okay. I noticed that you put a gender on it, and you
I
said
did too.
so. We're gonna talk about that, but because it has such negative connotations, so we're gonna address that. But what about Tasha and Kitty? What is cuffing season in 2023 for you?
For me, I don't think it's really any different. I mean, the last thing I've cuffed is a basketball, and that's been years ago. So cover season hasn't been very kind to your boy. So
Okay.
it's going to be business as usual, unless a miracle drops from the skies. Some pretty woman that want to be cuffed that comes out of nowhere. It's going to be business as usual for your boy.
That's what's up. Mac, you just moved into a beautiful new place, so you got new digs. What's cuffing season happen? What's going on with cuffing season 2023?
I do not do cuffing season myself. I don't participate in cuffing season. But as far as it, like looking different, I think it does. For a lot of people, if they don't want to believe it or not, I think like with the weather, it is about survival. I mean, last year we saw some true like winter weather in some areas that they're just unaccustomed to having. And so I do think that it is about survival to Sherry's point that people, those hobosexuals, they trying to get in the house with somebody that's paying some bills and, be comfortable where, it's somewhere it's better than sleeping in the car. You see a lot of people right now who will take the chance and run the risk of sleeping in their car. But when that temperature drops at night, when the holidays are upon us, there's a different mindset that a lot of people take. They don't want to be alone.
I love that. So, do you think Tasha and Sherry? I'm gonna pose it to you straight, both to you straight. Do you think hobosexuals it only applies to men?
No, to me, I think
Okay.
the majority, yes.
Okay.
But I do think that there's also some homosexual women who are just looking for a room, looking for a couch because they don't want to do anything. They would just much rather just continue to, live it up. YOLO, enjoy life.
Okay. That's where I wanted to go. I had an hour conversation early this morning with me and my boy talking about this very thing. I truly believe cuffing season 2023 is looking different. We've always talked about the effects of the Me Too movement and what it's had and what it's done. And when I look at I always wondered when would that pendulum swing back because it swung so far, to where we don't know how to talk to women. We don't know how to open, we don't know if we should compliment you, open doors. And I'm gonna tell you something, slowly but surely, I've noticed, to your point, Tasha, I think it's still a majority of men that are homosexuals, but there's a lot of you bitches out there that's looking for a place to crawl into too. The humility of winter is striking that ass too. When you consider gas prices, food prices, student loan debt is kicking back in. Right here in these apartments, there used to be a thing where women would make the 3 times the income and have the good bank account, background, rental history. These hoes out here, they're struggling, just like a lot of these men out here. And with rent, especially I know right in this area, I'm starting to see, not as many bitches being able to readily rent. And you know what I'm even seeing when women starting to say on TikTok and different things, hey, does anybody want a roommate? A lot of these bitches are becoming homosexuals too, to where they're looking for a place. And you said, is the cold weather? One thing I know for sure, a lot of women do not like to be alone during the holiday season. You know,
Mhm.
to Tasha's point, where in the summer months and spring where you can sleep in your car, during these summer and spring months, it's okay to have a fluffy pillow between your legs, but when that temperature start dipping below 50 degrees, that pillow ain't gonna do it. You need something hard and stiff between them buns. Go ahead, brother Kenny.
So you know, I just was taking in what every all you all were saying, and
Mhm.
I guess I got a misconception of cuffing season. From what I'm gathering from you guys is it's more of a it's not about intimacy. Cuffing is about just living with
Mm-mm.
somebody.
It's definitely not about
It's not
intimacy.
about
Oh,
intimacy.
okay.
It's
It is
not.
Okay. And
definitely
that's
not
what I
about
thought I
intimacy.
thought cuffing season was when you wanted to find, you know, Bobby Womack had that song, If You Think You're Lonely Now, Wait Until Tonight, Girl. I thought cuffing was about finding somebody to be, you know, have a lover. You know, but
No, it's
what you
No
about
guys are saying, it's about just trying to make it.
it's
necessity.
about
Okay.
yeah, it's
All
about
right.
finding somebody for the season to get you
Okay.
through the fall and the winter to get you to spring. That's all it is.
Absolutely.
Oh.
And to put that in
Hmm.
perspective, brother Kenny, the sports guy, Mr. Sports Hustle himself, you're going to appreciate there is a cuffing season schedule that literally breaks down. So I want to share this with you. Tasha
Oh
shared this
boy.
with me,
I
and
can't
I
wait
want
to
to
hear
talk about
this.
it.
Okay.
Absolutely. There is a absolutely schedule. So I'm trying to share my screen. I hope you guys can see that.
Yeah.
Can y'all see that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if I blow it up bigger, will
Schedule
it?
just got released.
No, okay. So that's about as big as I can get it. So I hope you guys can see this schedule. And sports, Mr. Sports Hustle, it literally breaks down, and I love how it does it. It talks about the scouting begins August 1st through August 31st. So when you think about scouting, and I'm going to apply this to basketball. I think this will apply to the NBA season. So what happens when you scout? You're looking for talent. You're looking for a certain skill set. So think about, we just wrapped up August a couple of weeks ago. It was during those last 4 months of August. School is about to start back. So you start scouting because you start mentally thinking, what's my scouting season going to look like? So let me look around. I done seen these nasty, no good bitches out here with their ass and titties hanging out for long enough, but they're gonna have to put some clothes on in a minute. Draft season, we in draft season, brother Kenny. September 1st through the 30th. What
Okay.
happens during the draft? When you think about it, you've seen and observed the talent. Now you got to go out there and pluck from amongst what's out there who might be worthy of making it onto your team. And then you got tryouts, folks. A couple of more weeks. Winter is coming. It's going to be assured. We head into October. You're going to regularly see some temperatures where the highs are 65, 70 degrees. Them lows going to be 55 and lower. And so now you got to try a couple of these bitches out. Let me see what you got. And let me see he or she. I'm not going to put a gender on it.
Mhm.
Let me see what they got. And then preseason. Think about that time, y'all. November 1st to the 30th, we're beginning holiday season. So that preseason, what happens in preseason, brother Kenny? In preseason, you're building that
Yeah, that's
team.
basically you building that team. All right, you building your
You
team.
put
You
it,
got your team
and
in place.
there you
Right.
go, and you put them out
Yeah.
there because now you want to see if they fit on a team. Can they fit into the culture of what you're trying to plan for your team? So you get to test them out a little bit and see if they've got the skill set that you're looking for. And check it out, y'all. Cuffing season officially is on and popping December 1st all the way through January 15th. You know why? It's cold. It's cold for real, in December through January. That genuinely is going to be cold. And at that point, you playing the game now. You got that him or her locked up in there, and you made the selections. They're on the team at that point. And playoffs, this is the part I love. January 16th through February 13th. It's not by accident that the playoffs go through February 13th.
Yeah.
Because look at what happens in the championship game. If that bitch, in my case, was to make it to February 14th, Valentine's Day. So typically you get them bitches off your team before you have to buy their ass a gift for Valentine's Day. What do you guys think about this schedule?
Or you could do like a lot of men do and sabotage Valentine's Day, downplay it. So then, oh well. So now it's time for y'all to go your separate ways. Then, so I think it's an interesting schedule. There's some truth to it.
I just thought we'd have a little fun with it. I wanted to, Brother Kenny, I thought you'd appreciate that. I wanted you to see that for sure. But to the point that we're making, this is not about intimacy. Cuffing season is certainly not about intimacy. It's about necessity. It's about not wanting to be alone. It's all about that magical time of year where you know what? You want to be with somebody, and there's a literal science behind it, because I wanted to ask you guys, for you, when you do head into the winter months, biologically, biochemically, do you find that you're happier, or do you want to be with somebody more when that temperature drops? I'm interested. I know how I feel. The super fan, Miss Toria, how you doing? But biochemically,
What's up, Miss Toria?
when we hit this season, what does it do to you in terms of wanting to be cuffed? Anybody?
It don't do nothing for me. If I was single, most women feel like you want to see if a man get through the summer, because while everything is out to sea, if he's sticking around, then you pretty much he might be a potential. But if if he can't stick around in the summer when all the butts and everything is out, then I don't want him nowhere.
Okay. So for you, say do nothing to you. What about for you guys? Is there any kind of biochemical changes that happen? Because it even talks about, this is science, that when the temperature drops and it's getting cold a lot earlier, there's a change in your mood connected with two chemicals of melatonin and serotonin in your body. Do you guys find that to be true? Is there any effect of it for you, Tasha or Kenny?
I definitely can say that's for me. I'm a warm weather person. I like warm weather. I like sunny days. I do not like the winter time because it's a little depressing for me. I don't like cold weather. So I definitely, my mood is a little bit different. And then it's around the holiday season too. And then you start seeing couples doing couples things together. Especially now with the advent of social media, so it's all over the place. So that also makes me a little melancholy too, because sometimes I wish I had that person that I could be doing those couple things during the holidays. So yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Wow. Sherry, Miss Carolyn, great to have you, Miss Carolyn. She said that part, sis. She was agreeing with you about, I guess, if the guy can't stick around in the summer, he ain't worth keeping, I would imagine. She says ninjas want a home for the winter. What about you, Tasha? Any biochemical changes that you note?
Hell yeah, I don't sweat as much. It's too hot. I like it when the temperature drops. I like the temperature changes this time of year. I'm not a big fan of the holidays. This isn't my favorite time of the year, only because, again, I think this is like this time of year is like when you see like the true, like the worst of people. There's like a sense of entitlement, like with the holidays, and an extra sense of delusion for a lot of people, because they think that they can treat you a certain way because it is the holidays and it's it's no big deal, or there's this level of expectation of, well, you have to do it because it's the holidays. But that's a whole other topic. But for me, I like this time of the year. It doesn't affect my mood, like make me like depressed. I look forward to those days where it's 50 degrees. Like that's the high for the day. I
Right.
love the chill in the air. I love the smell of fall. I do. That crisp cold in the air. I love that. So for me, no, I don't have, it doesn't affect me that way. It's too hot. I can't deal with this. It's too hot outside.
Okay. I see a little bit of your take, Tasha, and a little bit of Kenny's take as well. Miss Carol said, "Yep, that's so true." So, being a Capricorn, Janus, and in case you know about astrology, you got a face facing forward and a face facing backwards. I keep saying, Brother Kenny and I are two different sides of the same coin because, in this sense, where he loved the heat, I love winter, but we both born in January, and it's so weird because I genuinely am happier. I'm depressed, Brother Kenny, in the summer. The summer is very tough for me. Hot summer months, and this is where I agree with you, Tasha. I hate the sweat, and it's not just because I'm a fat fucker. I've always hated the sweat, even when I was slim and fit. I feel sticky. I don't want to be as sociable. I definitely don't want to be touched. I'm not a big hugger anyway, so I'm not a snuggler. So I've never been a real big on that. So even just in general, I don't like people up against me. And when it's summer months, I'm not the same person. Ironically, to Tasha's point, when that temperature is regularly 55, 65 degrees, and it's damp and cold, that's when I want to open my blinds, and I genuinely feel happier looking outside. I'm more active and alert to go to work. It's a job getting up in the heat because you got to run your air the whole time. But when it's cold, Sherry and my sister have visited me. They know that, I keep it cold in the house, I feel happy. I move around better. I just feel genuinely better about the colder temperatures. So biochemically, I'm happier. And when the temperature drops and we get into cupping season, in that sense. But to Kenny's point too, there is a melancholiness about it as well. Because unlike you, Tasha, I like the holiday season. Even though I don't quote unquote celebrate, I like the Christmas song. I like that on TV. There's holidays, music playing. And for me, it does, Kenny, harken back to the time when all my brothers and sisters were alive and we was together. That family time, I get a little bit depressed. There's literally a disorder called SAD, seasonal affective disorder, which is a type of
Affect.
depression that's
Yeah.
triggered by a change in seasons. And I never knew that was a thing, but I genuinely experienced it because I feel like I'm intruding on people when the holiday season hit. That calendar, when November 1st hit, there's a part of me that withdraws in because I feel like those who are in relationships or got family members, I live in a city where I don't have no family. I feel like I'm intruding by reaching out to them. So I tend to become a loner at the same time. It's a very odd situation that goes on with me in the winter. On one hand, I'm happy because of the weather, but I'm melancholy because I'm alone, and like you said, Brother Kenny, I don't have somebody to do certain things with. And I know that in my house, unless I cook Thanksgiving, I'm going to be alone. I'm going to be doing everything alone. So it's very, very odd time of year for me.
Yeah, but
Carolyn, go ahead, Sherry.
all three of y'all better keep y'all asses in the South because winter in New York, the snow is crazy, and that's what I don't like about it.
I got you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a
You
big
ain't got to
fan of
worry
the
about
snow
me,
necessarily,
Jerry.
but I like
I
the
ain't
cold
gonna be
weather.
up north. You ain't got to
And
worry
because I work
about
from
me.
home, it wouldn't matter to me long as I ain't got to go out in it. So, as Carolyn says, I like
No.
fall. The winter in the Northeast is too cold. I hate winter, and I was born in February. Miss Carolyn, my sister's born in February as well. So again, I don't care how cold it gets, and one of the benefits is that I get to work from home. So if it was snowing, I think that'd be great. That'd be
Mm-hmm.
great.
I'm good on that.
Just imagine I can deal with the cold, but imagine you got to be digging cars out and snow is
Yeah.
up to the window and all that kind of stuff. I hate it.
Yeah, that could be miserable. And then and where you're at too. See, even the mechanics of living in New York to me would compound that because the fact that you got so many people and the way y'all drive and You know, the animals shitting in the snow, and what's worse, people shitting in the snow in New York. It's not even about the animals. You literally have bums and shit taking a human shit in the snow. Not to
It's just
mention seeing rats, and the rats don't go away. They just now in the fucking snow. You know, and right. So I'm you shaking your head, brother Kenny. So just the idea that if you're walking already trudging through, and now you got to be worried about a big fucking hood rat uh, as well. So I hate New York.
Yeah.
Carolyn say, I'm in Pennsylvania, and I know that's right. It's at that part too. So yeah,
Right.
but I want to examine another part of cuffing season, and this is a cool question I wanted to ask. Is cuffing season, how does it affect you? Is it applicable as you get older? What's your views on cuffing season from when you were younger versus now? Do you think it's applicable for somebody of our age group to even do cuffing season? Tasha asked the question last night, can you outgrow it?
Hmm. Hmm.
I
Well,
think it
I
meant
can.
more. Oh, sorry. Go ahead,
No,
Kenny.
no. Go ahead. Go ahead, Tasha. You got it.
Oh, I was gonna say, I don't think it applies as you get older, or it shouldn't apply as you get older. I think there's still a large demographic of people who are single, but I think it mattered more like like when you were younger, because you I would say for me, like I wanted to be out, I wanted to be around, I wanted to go, visit as many people as possible. I wanted to be with somebody. Now, it definitely, for me, it definitely does not matter. It's not applicable to me.
I love that answer. What about Sherry or you, Kenny? As you've aged now, Sherry, I know you're married, so choose to answer this cautiously, however you choose. But as you've aged, how does cuffing season, how is it applicable to you as you've aged?
for me. Um, I think it's kind of different for me because, when I was younger, you know, even during cuffing season, you know, you I ran around more. But as you get older, you're more settled in, and so yeah, I have to find me a side piece that got an apartment. I got some warmness that goes on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So question,
Okay.
would you be more apt to cut? So let's say you found that side piece. Would you be more apt to cuff with somebody now that you're older than you would have been when you were younger?
Yeah, most definitely.
You would. Tasha,
Hmm.
same question for you. Would you, if you were going to do it, would you be more apt to do it now that you're a little older versus when you were younger?
No,
No.
I would have definitely done it, like when I was younger. No,
Okay.
because I guess for me, it's like I didn't really I didn't have my own place to stay. So it's like I didn't want to be like at home.
I
I
got you.
didn't
I
want to
got
be
you.
where I was.
I
So I
got you.
wanted to be out. I wanted to be away. But it's my place. It's my house. I want to be in my own shit.
Gotcha. I can't wait to hear what my brother gonna say on this one. Because I
Uh,
can't read you, brother Kenny. I'm truly curious as to how this would affect you as you whether or not you'd be
mm,
more apt to be a part of it, especially now that we're not talking about intimacy. And as before you answer,
right.
Carolyn said, I've been cuffed for over 25 years. I hear you, baby. What you say, brother Kenny?
Mm. Hold on, just hold on, just
Okay.
I'm hold on, I'm muted. No, okay, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Hmm.
you.
Can you hear me? I'm
Yeah, we
sorry.
can
Yeah.
hear you.
I got distracted for a second. To answer that question, it's funny. I'm more apt to really probably look at doing that now than I would have been when I was younger because actually I was married most of my in my 20s and 30s. So cuffing was never even on the menu or on my plate. So now that I've been, single for over 10 years now, I think all options are on the table, so to
Okay.
speak. So,
Okay.
I would be open to it. Now, am I pursuing and actually looking to do that? No, I'm not actually in no pursuit of cuffing, but I'm open to, again, whatever the universe may bring my way.
Okay. Okay. Wow. When Tasha asked me this last night, I almost answered it on the spot, and then I saved myself because I wanted to answer this in front of all you guys. Age has definitely played a major part in how I view cuffing. When I was younger, I definitely, not only was I down for it, I did it. I actually did it. Now I did it in terms of a rotation, not with one person. I was a hoe, but I had a rotation of bitches that, for you new viewers out there, I mean, bitch, with all the sincerity of love, just so you know. And I'm a hoe as well. But when I did it, when I was much younger, I had a rotation, but I loved it because it actually worked for my lifestyle. The truth of the matter was that when it got to those cold months, I've already explained to you, I'm happier, more lively, more active. I tend to go out more. I liked the idea of having a rotation that I knew in the winter that, damn, I'm going to have her over for a couple of nights, and then I'm going to have her. So I liked batting down the hatches, so to speak. We called it going on lockdown. That was the expression we used back then. Yeah, I'm about to go on lockdown and shit, And so I liked that. Even if I had long distance relationship, it was so cool to have the little thing come in for the weekend or whatever, and you go on lockdown status. It's cold. You're spending time under the covers, fucking, eating, watching TV. It was just a beautiful thing. Now that I'm older, to Tasha's point, I don't see the need for it for me at this stage. I've now lived a life of such selfishness that I'm set in my ways. And the idea of having somebody now in my space for any length of time past the 3 or 4 hours I'm going to need that bitch, it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. Now, my tolerance level is so short that I'm so selfish that I wouldn't mind you coming in that small window, 10, 11 o'clock, but you got to go before 3 a.m. And I'm even amending that now that I'm getting older. I ain't staying up to 3 a.m. now. You pretty much got about 10 to 1. We got about 3 hours. We got to swing from them chandeliers in them 3 hours. All the shit that you want to do. So come in, bitch. Fire up the blunt, suck a little dick, watch a little TV, have a drink, and then I need you to be gone. So by 1 o'clock, I can wipe all the memory of you out of my place. Febreze the bed, the couch, wipe everything down, spray and shit. Light some incense, and like you never been here. But the idea that you would be here more than 3 or 4 hours, I would turn into a mean fucker. So cuffing season at this stage, as I've aged, is just not gonna work.
Kenny, so you
No,
get these?
no pun intended, huh, Lee? When you said you started to a mean, no pun intended.
Absolutely.
Kenny, so Kenny, these is two selfish son of a bitches on here. Right?
Yeah,
Yes.
I already know. I already
Yes,
know.
we are. Yes, we are. And Tasha has on previous shows indicated if you do come to her place, shit ain't changed. It's her way or the highway. Tasha, am I wrong?
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. Now, here's the thing though. I won't give you like an expiration to like leave. Like you ain't gotta have like a certain amount. I'll be nice. Just, I do have like my little quirks. Like don't be fucking shit up intentionally now.
Tasha need one of these New
Don't
York
be
boys.
leaving water all over the floor in the bathroom. Don't be doing that. Don't put your feet on my side of the bed and pre-warm my sheets. That shit's gonna make me angry. We gonna have to get out the bed and start all over. So
you know what? You two are too damn much. That's all I got to say. You two are
no,
too damn much.
see, No, but I'm pretty sure you probably have your own like little quirks that you may that either you may realize or you may not realize until like somebody like points it out. But there's just like little things that's just like I don't know that just make you you.
Absolutely.
You
And
you
I
probably
just
correct
own
on
it.
that.
I'm selfish, and now that I'm older, I just got way too much shit going on. Being an obese diabetic with an Archie Bunker complex, you just don't want to be around that shit for too long. I only
Well,
have a small window that I can be nice. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
that's funny, Tasha, because I want
Kidding.
my husband to get my bedside warm.
No, I like getting in and feeling cold sheets and rubbing my feet together. No, I want my shit
I'm with you,
cold.
Tasha. And I don't
I
even
like
want you up against me. And that's why I said it's not going to work. When I was younger, I was more tolerant to where, I knew part of it is, oh, I got to snuggle with this bitch a little bit, for her to give me the best of herself. But, now and shit, you need to come over here with the full understanding. We ain't got all night. This is going to be a heavyweight bout. We ain't got round after round after round because I'm not going to be standing up with your ass. Heavyweight bout. Come in swinging, bitch. I'm just saying.
see, I be beating him both of my
Oh my goodness, God, dog. Oh man.
I'm saying, so question, guys, for the family. I thought this was appropriate, Tasha sent. Do you think cuffing season falls under the category of toxic behavior? Think about all the things that it entails. Because we sit here in the rest of the year and talk about how we treat each other, and we claim that as men and women we're looking for something serious and we look for all these qualities, and yet here we are year after year after year during this small imaginary season. It's all about being selfish. Do you guys think that this falls into the category of toxic behavior?
Yeah, it's a little toxic. It is.
Yeah, I agree.
There's
I agree
no
with
question.
Taj.
It's a little toxic.
It's a little bit. It ain't a big jug full of toxicity, but it's a half a it's a pint. I'll put it that way. It's a pint of toxicity in coffee. I see it that way.
It's
Gotcha.
Yeah.
it's one of those things like you have to like consider it. Okay, it is cuffing season. Not to say that it cannot, grow into a full blown relationship, but it's kind of
That's a
one of
good
those
question.
things that you have to accept that more than likely you're only going to be together for a brief moment of time. Brief. So how much are you willing to give? And also, now it can be extra toxic if someone's kind of like leading you to believe that it's something more than what it is and not that it's not really for them cuffing season. And also how active their roster is too. That can get a little toxic too. So
You
And
hit
you
all of the
great.
points.
Yeah, and the point is too, because somebody's going to be in control in this cuffing agreement. Whoever has
mhm.
control makes the rules. So and that in itself is toxic. So yeah, it's definitely toxic.
You nailed it. You nailed it, brother Kenny. Sis, what you say?
I agree with everybody. Kenny, I'm gonna be the in control one. I ain't playing no game.
Yeah. See, there
And
you have
that's
it.
and that's where we started out the beginning, and we called the culprits homosexuals for a reason, right?
Right.
Because at its core, that person is looking for a place to stay, right? And
Mhm.
for that duration, what do you have to give up to be able to stay? Because now you got to live under somebody's rules, their guidelines. And that's why I always talk about the humility of winter. And that's because, and this, I've always believed this. I think you ladies, are some of the most arrogant sons of bitches, you know, all the other seasons. You know what I'm saying? But it's a funny thing happens when it gets cold. There's a level of humility, like I said, because you know, I don't want to be alone. I want to go through the holiday season by myself. And so I have always been able to take advantage. This is where the toxicity comes into play, especially because I run my place like the White House. I operate pussy under these walls as if this is 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. This is the White House. And I am the president, CEO of the Department of Defense and everything else. I control the budget, the lighting, everything under the roof happens here. So if you are going to be in here, you're going to eat what I say you eat. I'm controlling the temperature. And what I tend to feed bitches in cuffing season is cup of soup and old chicken. You're not going to get my best food during cuffing season because now I know that you're here for a reason. So I'm literally stocking up on cup of soups, and not the good kind, to the good ones in the bowl where you pay $1.59. I'm talking about the 54-cent ones. Bitch, let me sprinkle a little bit of salt, garlic powder, onion powder, that bitch. Here you go. Fill your stomach up with some noodles. Let's have a drink. Let's get this party started. So, yes, it is toxic because I am in control. And to Sherry's point, this is why I could never be the homosexual, because I would despise Tasha telling me that I can't get in the bed before her.
You can get in the bed. You can't get on my side. Stay on the other side. Can't pre-warm my side. Don't warm my side. Just stay on the other side.
Miss Carolyn said, I can see that you're single and it's your home.
Oh yeah, no doubt, Miss Carol. That is correct, ma'am. That is correct.
It is so true. And again, it's even difficult for me to even go visit a woman for that reason, because I like to be in control. So this is very toxic to me when I think about cuffing season at its core and what a person has to give up to be able to stay. And so that person's in control. And if it's a woman, oh my God, and if it's a woman like Sherry, you know what? I might stay with you cuffed up, but before I get you to February, I'm gonna choke the shit out of you.
Yeah, but see, you know what, brother? With the way you are, I done gave you some sleeping pills. You'll be eating that fucking chicken.
So y'all need to know, she and I shared a room growing up.
I can only imagine what that was like. I can only imagine.
We shared a room, but oh my God! So I just wanted to ask that. Okay,
that was a good question too. I was wondering about that. Damn good question.
Let's keep it rolling, folks. Do you think then? We looked at the calendar. Do you think for some, especially, and I wanted to internalize this for me, do you think cuffing season is a viable alternative to a relationship? I want you to think about that for a second. Miss Carol says, if she don't choke you first. You are right, Miss Carolyn.
Right.
You're also right. But do you think cuffing season, because, and I want you to think about this, because I think at our core, we want somebody. Now we go through those periods where we're comfortable in being alone, but I think we want somebody, most of us anyway, and even if you've gotten comfortable with being alone, whatever that looks like. But while we're waiting on that, do you think cuffing season is a viable alternative to being in a relationship?
Yeah, probably. At some point, it's like depending on how much human interaction that that you crave or desire. Hell, that amount of time, that we're looking at, 8, 12 weeks, whatever it is, whatever the time frame is, that's probably more than enough time for you to be like, okay, well, I've had my dose of relationshipness or intimacy for the year, and I'm good to get me through to next year. So
I love that. Kenny or Sherry, what do you think?
No, because then, first of all, you ain't gonna be no motherfucking intimacy with me. You're gonna be waiting. I don't know you like that.
Okay. So in your example then, sis, if you found that little side piece you said earlier about who had his own place, are you saying then you would be going over there to cuff but not fuck?
I done did it, bro. I go over there and do and
I
bring
just
my
wanted to be
friends
clear. I just
and,
wanted to be clear.
and we have some drinks, and he gonna do what the fuck I say, unless I won't be coming.
Wow.
I wanted
Wow.
you.
Okay.
I wanted you to leave no doubt as to what you meant.
Oh,
Okay.
I would think because it's cuffing
Mm.
season, we trying to fuck as much as possible in a short amount of
I
time.
if I made
But
my
seeing that
husband
that
here before we even had sex, I'm not going. You ain't gonna be cuffing the fuck up on me. Hell
All
no.
right.
I rub
Okay.
your face a little bit,
okay.
get your money, drink some drinks to have my friends, and then see you later.
Brother Kenny.
Um man, this is, it's some blurred lines with this, in my opinion. But
Mhm.
yeah, it can be alternative because we have situationships, we have sneaky links, we have all these other alternatives. Yeah, cuffing can be an alternative to a relationship. You know, the thing about it is, I think Tasha said that I think the cuffing season is technically when you do all your draft and you get your player is only like 12 weeks roughly. So
Right.
basically most of the time in a regular dating relationship, a lot of times people going 60 days or 90 days just to figure out if that's the person they really want to become exclusive with. So yeah, in a sense, yeah, cuffing season could be an alternative to a relationship.
I agree with everything, and I hadn't thought about it honestly until Tasha posed the question. All these questions come from the mind of McMack, just so you know. Um, and I hadn't thought about it, but when I slept on it last night and I was putting this show together, you know what I came to realize? Because and I'm being serious here, because of how I am, I don't necessarily know that I'm going to find a relationship ever again. I hope I do, but I don't have a lot of confidence that I will, to be perfectly honest with you. And I hope I'm wrong, but the truth of the matter is, I think because of what I'm looking for, I just don't know if it's out there anymore. And that conversation I was having with my nephew this morning, we were talking about the VMA awards last night. I don't know if you guys caught any part of that. Tasha and I were watching the beginning of it, and there were so many what the fuck moments through there that I just didn't understand. And it's so cemented in me that I don't understand what's going on with men and women anymore. And I never thought I'd get to a place where I want women to put clothes on, think of twerking and all that kind of stuff. So with that said, I don't necessarily know if I'm ever going to be in a quote unquote relationship anymore. I don't know if I have the capacity to do it. I don't know if I'm a fossil, if my ways are antiquated so much so that it wouldn't even work because they wouldn't want me with what I bring to the table and with the whole Me Too thing. So guess what? Maybe cuffing season is what I can look forward to your point, Tasha, that I can squeeze in that short burst of time, being that I'm the happiest when it's cold. Maybe that is the time when I can, again, on a limited basis, have somewhat of a rotation of a cupping season, alter it to fit my needs. But yeah, maybe this is when I do find somebody that want to come in for whatever and play a little Christmas music and we have a little fun. And I know that it's going to end. And I could be okay with that and then go about my happy existence. So I hadn't thought about it, but I think this could be a very big alternative for me. Miss
You
Carolyn
can't
says,
be
if I wasn't married today, I would say single. Too much BS today, and I'm almost 70 years old. I agree with you 1,000%. So I envy you, Miss Carol. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tasha.
you can't be feeding bitches couple soups and old chicken and think somebody gonna be, cuffing with you that long. So you gonna have to come up with a better grade of food.
That's just it. Before they see they in a rotation, before they catch on, it's not going to be it. Then this is my plan. They ain't going to even realize that I'm feeding them the low grade of food. My thing is you only got a short burst. So my thing is, in that moment, you having a little blunt, have a little music. They say, "Oh, I'm kind of hungry, bitch. Eat this chicken." or that, and then get up out of here.
No,
You're not
after
here
the
to be
second or
for
third
dinner.
time coming to your house, I don't want no damn cup of soup and chicken. You better have
I,
some other options.
I don't know what kind of women he trying to have, Tasha, because
I don't
you'll be
know
taking
either.
me
This
out to
brother
dinner
talking
and
about a
things
cup of
like
soup
that.
and old chick.
Hey, I swear I put it on the souls of my two brothers. It's amazing what, going back to the toxicity, if that's what you hand them, that's what they're gonna have to eat. I'm not giving them a choice. When I'm not opening my refrigerator so that, hey, what do you want? You're not here for that. My thing is, when you say I'm hungry, I've already set out the chicken. So let me nuke a couple of pieces of chicken legs and shit. Kroger's, when you go in there late in the evening, you get it marked down, so they cost me a whole lot. You get 8 pieces of chicken for about $3.50. So you know what? You nuke a couple of pieces of chicken. You hand it to them. You sit the fuck down. You're not asking their opinion. You're not getting to choose what I got in here to eat. I'm not even giving you that shit on a plate. I
Me,
got these little trays and shit that if you fuck
hey,
that up and throw it in the garbage can, it's okay because I ain't lost nothing.
brother, me and
God.
you was just talking the other night. And you remember, me and you was just talking the other night. Me and my daughter really don't even like leftovers. So you already know.
That's why I look for a certain type. Miss Chambers says, Lee, only if they're truthful in their wants. Very good point. She says, I be bringing my own. Whew, see, I like you. I like your type. That's even better, Miss Carolyn. But they don't do that these days. Back when I was in rotation, they used to bring their own soap, towels, lotion, everything. It was a beautiful thing. She said, well, damn, I can't. Shaking my damn head. It was a beautiful thing when it works to perfection. It was a beautiful thing that now you got somebody coming in. They're not even using your soap, your towels. And if you slinging that dick correct, they're going to ask you before they get there. Do you want anything? Yes, I do. Bring me something. So it's a beautiful thing when it works.
You
So
better
I
eat
might.
some
They
of
gonna
that
bring
chicken or them
they gonna bring hey Black, they gonna bring you a cup of soup and some old damn chicken.
You know why they're not?
Here,
You know why
take
they're not?
that.
Because they're women. 'Cause
No, that
that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. Because they're women. So
oh
when it
man.
works, it's a beautiful thing. But Miss Carolyn, if I could get them to bring their own food, oh, that's lovely.
Mm.
And that's lovely. Hey, well, I'm gonna stop and give me something to eat. I love when they say that shit. Now you walk in, you already got your bag of food. Now I know I don't have to feed you. Now I just gotta serve you a couple of drinks of cheap liquor, have the lighting, everything the way I want. You know what I'm saying? If you want to smoke, hurry up and roll a blunt. Let's get to it. Heavyweight bout.
Mm.
Ding, ding, ding. Fight is over. Miss Carol said, I'll fry you some chicken, but I ain't eating no old chicken. They not gonna know it's old, see? And when you nuke it, you don't know how old the chicken is. All you know is it's just hot. That's all you know.
Well,
Mm.
you
All
know,
right.
brother, we wasn't raised to even eat from people, so you should know me better than that. You ain't gonna be giving me no motherfucking food out your house.
Thank God it ain't women have progressed far past that Eloise Young shit. So
And I have to tell them, you see me, I'm fat. Should I eat so you know what it is? My nigga, don't even play no games.
well, I was. So here's the thing. So even though I'm a fat man, I'm not attracted to fat women. Because now if you got a fat woman coming in, she really gonna want to eat. I might have to really feed that bitch.
Well,
So
you know, I
that's
don't
why I
really eat
know.
a lot. I'm just fat,
No,
but I
you
can
don't.
eat.
But I can't take that chances. I might get a bitch in there really want to
And
eat.
you gonna be taking me out. We gonna be doing something.
And
You
you
see
ain't
how I
going
raised my daughter.
nowhere in here. Nope.
She ain't fat,
We
but
want
you gotta
we
give
want
her bottle service.
tacos. That's what we want. We want tacos.
Unless you bring it with you, it's not going. You're gonna eat what's here. That's the toxic nature of cuffing season. If you come up in $23.99.
That's fine. You just get in there and fix us some
Tasha and,
tacos.
Hell no.
and Kenny, he be looking at my daughter like she crazy, cause
Hell no.
she need bottle service. He talking about he ain't gonna be paying no two
No,
and
we don't do that here. So I got a question for you guys. Are there
Oh
mental
boy.
benefits to cuffing season? Are there any mental benefits to cuffing season? Do you think?
None that come to
I
my mind
think
immediately.
the cuffer. I think the cuffer has his mental benefits because they know that hey, you only here for a moment. You ain't here forever. So yeah, that's their mental benefit. Now for the cuffee, they got a whole lot of there's no mental benefits for them. They got a whole lot of anxiety going on because they trying to figure out what their next move gonna be because they know when their 12 weeks is up, that's a wrap.
Okay, Sherry, what you think?
Yeah, well, mentally, shit, they gonna do what I say unless I ain't gonna be there anyway. I told you. You know me.
So I'm gonna go back to the condition that a lot of people may not be diagnosed called sad. Many of us desire relationships and human connections, particularly when we're feeling down. So Dr. Alberts saying being with somebody makes us feel cozy and creates a natural boost in serotonin, which is that feel-good chemical in your brain. And having someone to bring with you in the holidays or an event to a family gathering, get this last part, can alleviate a lot of dread and anxiety. I wanted to read that verbatim because, on a serious note, the holiday season is the most depressing time of year. Believe it or not, that's just today on the job. There was a whatever you call a session on suicide. We also last week had to sit through a training on if we get a suicidal caller on the line. Believe it or not, during the winter season, those cuffing season months and the holidays, we talked about this, a lot of people entertain suicidal thoughts for some of the reasons I talked about on the very beginning, because even for me, when I think about Thanksgiving, people are going to be with their family and the holidays and this, that, and the other. And you see the movies and everything is shouting at you from that perspective about being happy, in love, this, that, and the other. So I do think in many ways there is a mental benefit to cuffing season because for some people, they just can't cope with being alone. And Tasha and I have talked about this in various different ways. We live alone. Kenny, you too, but I mean, you got some of your family around. But Tasha and I, we live alone in the truest sense, day in and day out. These walls, as it were, is our world. It's our sanctuary. It's our everything. I promise you, we might make it look easy, but everybody is not built for this life. Would you agree, Tasha?
I definitely agree. It's not for everybody. And like some people, well, it's said, a lot of people think that like humans, like number one, we by nature we're not supposed to be alone, just by nature of it. We're supposed to be like we're companion people. But a lot of people struggle with it more than others, like as adults, or whatever, or just being of age and being by themselves. Mentally, they can't do it. I'm okay. I talk to myself all the time.
Me
That's
too.
fine. I
Me
talk to
too.
my dogs. I'm like I'm fine. Like I'm used to it. But it's definitely not. It's not for the weak. That's for sure. And I can see why sometimes like how people can be by themselves for an extended amount of time and they get in their own heads. They that they don't have anybody to talk to, and then they
Yep.
start thinking like worst case scenario type of stuff. And I could see why it could lead to those thoughts of suicide, like you were saying, especially during certain times of the year, their birthdays. My birthday was just Monday, and I didn't do anything special. I just went to work like I normally did, and I stayed in. A lot of people can't and don't comprehend that.
I'm so
So
glad you brought that up. In this age of social media, what do we see people doing on social media when it's their birthday? How
they
long do they?
celebrate the whole month, or depending on whatever it is, the whole zodiac season, whatever it is, they celebrate it like the whole time.
And that's what I want to say. Even social media has shown that people want likes. They want to feel liked and appreciated, and it's not
And
real
want
for
it.
some
Yeah.
people,
Mhm.
until it's shared with Instagram and this, that, or the other. And so that's, I like what you said, Tasha. Being alone is really not for the weak.
Mm-mm.
And so a lot of times when we look at, in this case, we started out talking about homosexuals. When we look at a toxic relationship sometimes, and we see a woman, for example, that got a guy treating her any old kind of way, sometimes we need to look behind that, and the reason why is because she don't want to
Peel
be
the layers.
alone. And it can
Yeah,
be
peel the layers back.
compounded when you get into this holiday season. Because Sherry, I think about friends of yours, for example, and I'm not going to mention any names. When you have those family events, not everybody's capable of showing up to a Thanksgiving dinner, this, that, or dinner, and they're by themselves. They want somebody on their arm, and they want their sisters and their cousins and their friends to believe they have somebody.
Hmm.
They have somebody,
Mhm.
you
It's just
know.
funny to me because I'm listening to y'all, and I never lived alone. Remember, I've been with my husband since
Right.
before I got married. I was 17, and I always wanted to live alone, for real. But
I got you.
I'm listening to Tasha, and I don't know how I would do if I really lived alone. But I always wanted to try that, but I don't know.
And I was only going to offer that. Tasha said it best. It's not for the weak. Believe it or not, it takes a tremendous amount of discipline.
Hmm.
It takes a tremendous amount of discipline to know that everything that has to be done, it's not going to get done unless you do it. There is no real days off. I'm not saying that you can't rest, but even when you're sick, there's things that have to get done.
Hmm.
Because there's nobody else there to fix soup for you, to go out and get medicine. So think about when it's cold and it's raining and you still got to go out to get lemons to make lemon tea because you feel the flu coming on. And so again, I think to this question, there is a mental benefit to cuffing season, if for nothing else, that to have somebody there that can help you carry the weight of that anxiety and depression. And it takes a lot of tremendous amount of self-discipline and willpower to live alone and go through this season and be okay with it. It really does. I think you have to be mentally strong. That's my personal opinion. I guess I'm biased, but again, I've been married, I've been in relationships, and being single, it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing in so many ways. As
That's
Carolyn
why.
says, the failure of my first marriage taught me to love being alone. It was hard to feel an attachment to my present husband at first. I love that you said that, Miss Carolyn. I don't even know if at this stage I could adapt. I wonder how long a period was it for you, Miss Carolyn, between your first marriage and your second? Because I got divorced at 30. I've now been single for 25 years. So wow.
I enjoyed the show, guys. I'm gonna tap out.
My brother,
Y'all enjoy the rest of
appreciate
your
you.
night.
Love.
Okay,
Get some
Kenny.
rest, my
All
brother.
right, love. All right,
Yes, sir.
I will.
So
But see, that's
yeah.
why, Freddie, you and Tasha scaring me because I always wanted to live alone. But at
Mhm.
the, I'm my husband. Tony fixed my plate.
Right.
So
Right.
as just think about what y'all saying. Yeah, everything you do, you got to do it for yourself. That's
Have to do it for yourself.
that'll be a challenge. I tell you.
It's challenging. It really is. Even when our work week ends, the moment the clock is off on Friday, we have to think about all the things that have to get done before Monday. And some kind of way, you've got to be disciplined and organized enough to get those things in some kind of way, try to get a little rest in between. you
Hmm.
know,
Right.
you know, laundry, grocery shopping, pay this bill, do this. Tasha has pets. You know what I'm saying? You got to cram all of that stuff in, and there's nobody there to do it but her. you know. And so, yeah, it takes a lot, you know. Miss Carolyn said, she said it was 10 years in between that period. She said, even then I was extremely cautious in getting into another relationship. So I can imagine. As we end, we're not going to go through this, but I wanted to just close out by actually, you know, when we have these subjects, we want to offer some helpful suggestions. So I literally going to read through 8 healthy rules for a successful cupping season, and I'm only going to ask you two to talk about one of them, just one, and for you, what you can see the benefit of it. So as I scroll through, number 1 is be mindful of your desire for a relationship. Be mindful of your desire for a relationship. Number 2, be clear about what you're seeking in the long and short term. Be clear about what you're seeking in the long and short term. Number 3, define your relationship. Define your relationship. Number 4, don't make plans too far in advance. Don't make plans too far in advance. Number 5, prepare for the holidays. Prepare for the holidays. Number 6, set healthy emotional and physical boundaries. Set healthy emotional and physical boundaries. Number 7, don't ghost the relationship. Don't ghost the relationship. And number 8, recognize that it's okay if you're single. Recognize that it's okay if you're single. Any one of those you want to speak to as we close out? Sherry?
Mm, uh, I think I'll talk about um the long and short. The long and think about the long and short relationship with a person. You see the one I'm talking about,
Be clear about what you're seeking in the long and short term.
right? Because
Okay.
um you gotta put things on the table from the beginning to let them know what it is, because you could mess around and wind up with a stalker or some type of shit.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's appropriate. Tasha, which one of those you want to close out by mentioning as a helpful tip?
That last one. It's okay. It is okay, people, to be single. No matter what people are saying, no matter what is out there, there is no battle between people in relationships and single people. It's not everybody's goal is to be in a relationship, and that's okay to be single. Because if you don't know what you want, if you don't know what you like, if you're unsure, if you're uncertain, if you're not where you want to be, it's okay to take some time and to be single. Okay, like if you can't be worried about what someone else's perception is going to be of you. Being in a relationship does not make you, and it should definitely not define you as a person. So don't let that just be your everything that you're putting all your stock into, because you can easily lose yourself. You can not know yourself, and you can get caught up in a relationship that is just as detrimental for you. So that's the one
Oh, I love it. I love
about.
everything you said. And I'm going to do the flip side of that coin. Number 1, be mindful of your desire for a relationship. And that starts with being honest with yourself. I think far too many times we settle
Mhm.
and we're disingenuous, Sherry, there's that word, about what we want from someone. We talked about age and where we're at. Everybody on this panel, we're grown. We're grown. I think when you're young and maybe, you're still figuring shit out, you know, there's that room to kind of have that level of uncertainty. At this stage, we all know exactly what we like, what we tolerate, what we want. You owe it to yourself to be honest enough with somebody in stating that with whatever this is. So back to whatever you want to call it, sneaky link situationship, this is cuffing, but be mindful of your desire for what you want that relationship to be. that will cut down a lot of confusion, misunderstanding, and then it will eliminate that awkwardness when and if you have to go your separate ways.
Yep.
And so, to Tasha's point, if you don't want to be in a relationship, don't pretend that you do. You know what I'm saying? Say what it is. And so, for that, to me, that's one of the things that I think if you're going to do cuffing, be upfront and honest, and it starts with you with yourself. And so I think you could avoid a lot of heartache and awkwardness at the end. All right, folks. So anyway, we definitely appreciate, you guys popping in. This has been our cuffing season special. So to Tasha's point, I'll close out. It's not for everybody. Take from it what you will. It's okay to not even do it. It's okay to be just as happy by yourself. But if you do it, be careful, be cautious, be honest, be direct, and enjoy. But as I said at the top of the show, winter is a coming. So get prepared. It's coming. God bless. We're on the other side of our Wednesday. Everybody have a great rest of your week. Thank you for tuning in. Continue to like, share, comment. For my new visitors, please share the content of this show and come back again. Come see us again. We appreciate you popping in. We know people can have a lot of other things to do. So, Ms. Carolyn, thank you so much. Good night. And for having you, please come on back. Continue to come back. Good night, everybody. Always keep it real.